Cinema Classics is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.com.
The award-winning Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows online at WCBE.org. I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Johnny DiLoretto, and we are in Cinema Classics.
We are, and guess where we are?
We're in the torpedo room at the Gateway Film Center.
So if it's a little bit dim, audience, it's because we're down in a submarine.
Yeah, that's right. You can't see this really amazing movie screen here. We're playing all the old original Oscar winners, the first Oscar winners on the screen. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's true. So appropriate, because today we're talking about maybe our favorite Oscar winners. And our audience will remember that last year we talked about our favorite performances by males and females.
Okay.
And so this year we're looking at favorite films for the Oscars, considering that.
And by you mean Best Picture winners?
Yeah, Best Picture. All right, Best Picture.
All right.
Right, because everybody knows that the very best, most favorite movie that won the Oscar is Casablanca, which was probably 1943, my guess.
It is 1943.
Yeah.
Very nice there. They have that little cheat sheet.
And look at right here.
Yeah, there it is.
We got the kids.
I got it. Yeah. Right there jumping right off the page there, two movies on the waterfront.
You know, and I've got that circled because when you're talking about performances, iconic performances.
Yeah. Well, you have Street Grit. You know, you have Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
And doing the eloquence of the inarticulate thing.
Right, good.
And you have a timely topic and theme. You know, that was obviously all that HUAC stuff was going down.
Sure.
And Brando was tormented over Elia Kazan's role in that whole debacle. And he's great. He is this balled up, twisted kind of fist of pain in that movie.
And as in Casablanca, there are lines that you can remember.
For sure.
For instance, I could have been a contender.
Yeah. Or the little note, one of my favorites is, stick it to him before he sticks it to you. Like that, with the little knife.
You would.
That.
You know, those were two great Oscar winners.
Yeah. There at the bottom of the page, Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, boy, 1962.
Man, just what a beautiful, epic film, a true cinematic experience. If you've ever experienced it in a theater, it's just breathtaking.
Yeah, I'm thinking of how Quentin Tarantino reprised that in a modern way at the beginning of *Inglourious Basterds*, where you have a rider and or a car way off in the distance, and you just take your time waiting for that figure, for that vehicle to come into the foreground, and it's ominous as hell.
For sure. And those vistas, and you know what I love about Lawrence of Arabia is one of my favorite Oscar winners is Peter O'Toole.
Oh boy.
Peter O'Toole, as far as I know, had never appeared on screen before.
Yeah.
And what a face. Yeah. His face is this beautiful, flawless landscape.
Godlike.
And his eyes are piercing.
Boy, oh boy.
And he is this beautiful man who transforms into a god, right?
Do you think those were his real eyes?
Yeah, they didn't enhance things with computers back then.
Oh, yeah, okay. And Omar Sharif was able to live a life after that of luxury and gambling. Yeah, right. He became a very notorious gambler after that. But anyway, a rakish, handsome guy. It was a film that I think many filmmakers have imitated one way or the other. I think, as you said, they got the idea of the vista, they got the idea of the color,
right,
and they knew how to use that. Where some might say, bring your camera closer, they'd say, no, the distance is the magic. Bring it in.
Right.
So, yeah.
The way figures move through a composition and across a screen actually had a lot of meaning back then. You don't see that. You don't see those types of compositions. You don't see that sort of care taken to think through how a character is moving, not just through the story, but across the screen.
1969
Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah, boy, you got it.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at the sheet there.
Yeah.
Midnight Cowboy changes everything. Changes everything because number one, it was about a homosexual hustler,
Yep.
street hustler, down on his luck, and his friend Ratso Rizzo. So
Right.
John Boyd and Dustin Hoffman.
John Boyd, who had-
really gritty story. You know,
And
really,
yet engendered Angelina Jolie.
yeah.
But
John
boy,
Boyd, yeah.
yeah, things just started there. But I think for Dustin Hoffman, sealed his rank as one of the greatest actors of our time.
Right, now, this did not win a Best Picture, but 1967's The Graduate, starring Dustin Hoffman,
Oh.
obviously paves the way
Oh.
for Midnight Cowboy,
Yeah, thank
because Dustin Hoffman was not a leading man looking type of guy. Once we had The Graduate, producers, Hollywood was more willing to explore darker themes,
Yep.
more unattractive characters, moral equivocation.
Yep.
And so that's where we end up with Midnight Cowboy in 1969, and really it sets the stage for the greatest decade of all time.
I was going to
the
say
70s.
that's the 70s, and
Yeah.
1972.
The Godfather.
All right, that's one of your could have been your favorite from my list.
Right?
I mean, I know you're. I know you have others that you like, but
Yeah.
I think this one you come back to many times.
Yeah, I do. Well, not as often as a lot of people do. I do love it, though. It occupies a certain, revered space in my imagination. 74 was The Godfather 2, obviously.
Yeah. 77 is one of your other favorites.
Network. Is that right? No.
It's not, but Network's a good one. But the winner is Annie Hall.
Oh, Annie Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about that last
We did.
last
We
year.
talked
yeah.
about
Annie Hall. Yeah,
Her.
definitely a movie that changed my life. I love that film.
Yeah.
1975. Let's jump back 2 years to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, good for you. Yeah.
Which is now that is another again a dark movie. It's not, it's a movie that is at times amusing, but it makes you work.
Well, yeah, and somewhat controversial, and I don't know how many films were set in an asylum like that, but that's
Not many.
not many at all. And Jack Nicholson made his fame.
Yeah.
on that.
Well,
So-
I mean, he certainly solidified himself
Yeah.
as the premier actor of his generation. A star who could act, a star with high wattage charisma, who could bring you down to really sort of grubby human lows, and he excelled at that.
And-
Five Easy Pieces.
In 1978 brings one of your favorite actors,
Yeah, De Niro.
De Niro,
The Deer
Hunter.
Like, I mean, just talk about that decade.
I
How many
know.
great movies.
I know. I mean, I was picking out, trying to take my favorites just overall, and I noticed how many I had in 70s. And I'm saying, I think that was a pretty good era. And of course,
Yeah.
we've always said that.
Right.
But it kind of trails off, I think, after the 70s. I'm not getting so many.
Yeah, the 80s, it changes. So we moved from the 70s and where art was placed above everything to the 80s where commerce kind of started.
Yes,
to
you're right,
rear its
you're right.
head. And spectacle. So you have movies like Ordinary People winning out over movies like Raging Bull.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and I have to go all the way to 1990, I think it is, for one of my favorites that rarely is this mentioned as a great film, but it won the Oscar.
Yeah, what's that?
Dances with Wolves.
Oh yeah.
A beautiful movie.
It won over Goodfellas.
Ah,
Right?
all right.
Now see, that's another interesting
Yeah.
dichotomy there, but I do think Dances with Wolves is a throwback to that Lawrence of Arabia.
You are so right. It's exactly what I was going to
spectacle,
say. Yeah.
where character is at the center of an epic, and a man is moving through, a character is moving through space and a certain historical time, and it really was the themes, the story. Kevin Costner, I mean, he's never better.
Yeah, well, I'm always a bit melancholic about this film because anyone who could create a movie like that, direct and star in a movie like that, had surely a grand future ahead of him. And he seemed to have frittered that away.
Yeah, right.
He has had some good films, but nothing to, maybe it was just the
Well,
best that he had.
I don't know. Maybe he got it out of the way early.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I have to say, in 1991 is my favorite thriller horror film.
Silence of the
It is yours.
Yeah, what another great one.
Oh.
You know, sometimes Oscar gets a bad rep, you know, but really, when you look back through the history of the award, you can really sort of not, you know, certainly not every film that won was the best film.
No,
You
right.
know, I don't think anybody's arguing that.
I mean, Around the World in 80 Days,
Right? How silly.
you know, come
But
on.
I think it is sometimes unfairly dismissed as a barometer of greatness.
You know, I like that comment because when people ask me, you know, how can you watch all these films? And I say, yeah, there's some bad ones, but you know, there's also very fine, high-class cinema
Yeah.
that America produces.
And really, sometimes it's just a gateway, if you'll forgive the metaphor, to other great films, you know?
Yeah, and you know, the 90s not bad when I look at what happened in 1992.
Of course not. One of the greatest American films ever made. Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
Right.
Clint Eastwood, who's a favorite of us, and you know.
And then, right, I mean, you know, in the 90s, in some ways, had just a slew of great films. You had Schindler's List after that.
Good enough.
You had The English Patient, again, going back to that Lawrence of Arabia period. And I love English Patient. I think it's
Me
great.
too. It's a quite a classy film, one that is frequently referenced by people who aren't as in love with movies as we are, but who really appreciate them on a maybe a different level. Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it seems silly to me, many of the things in Forrest Gump.
right. Well, there's a bit of a comedic element to it.
Yeah. And as we got closer, I was able to take out No Country for Old Men.
Oh, yeah.
2008 now.
Right.
That's a classy movie.
There's $1 Million Baby right
Oh,
before that.
right.
Another Clint Eastwood movie.
Clint
I mean,
Eastwood.
look, that's what you do. We're running out of time, I think, but we could talk ad nauseum about these films and their respective greatnesses. But really, Oscar is a barometer for quality, you know,
Yes.
and you could certainly do worse.
Oh, yeah.
For instance, like avoid the People's Choice Awards.
and it slips now and then. But I think overall, as we've said, just kind of a cursory look since the beginning,
Yeah.
we've hit some grand films that we would recommend to anyone.
Just scratching the surface.
Yeah.